Welcome to my first factory tour. We're going to go through my game save here. Going to show you how everything works, maybe explain my design for some stuff. Let's get started. This is Dyson Sphere Program, by the way. Premise of the game is you're on these big planets and you can blast off. We'll see other planets, but first off, you always end up digging up some resources. So we got like stone, we got iron, we got copper, titanium, silicon, all sorts of things. I started the game out over here. This is where I landed on the planet. And I made these little defenses because there's actually some enemies as well. But right now, they haven't bothered me for a while on this planet. And so here, I would actually make a lot of the stuff that I needed to expand the factory. Let me show the icons. Got our science labs being produced here. The windmills that you see flying around are from this little production line right here. Got some power poles, some advanced power poles. And then, yeah, that all comes from iron, some copper. The copper is coming from these little crystals right here in the ground, but they're almost out. Don't have a whole lot left. Usually these are a lot more abundantly filled up. These machines you see here, these are like assemblers. They make the things and I make the assemblers right here. Yeah, this is all kind of a little jumbled mess because this is where I started off and it's kind of hard to move quickly whenever you don't have a lot of movement speed at the beginning. These are 3 power generators that I've got. They all have no fuel because I don't actually use them to power anything. They're used to kind of just scrap anything that will burn, basically. It's like garbage, you know? Burnables, combustibles. This is one of the towers where I make some of the little cubes. I make, I think it's 5 different colored cubes. These are the yellow ones. They take some crystals and some graphite. And then get sent over to this little center part from the 4 towers. And from there, gets distributed by these little flying drones. So you see they turn yellow when they're holding a yellow cube. Yeah, you'll see where those are going later. Got another one of these yellow tower here. This is some iron production. Each of these little squares has 36, little 6x6 array of smelters. It's running pretty slow right now because I've got a whole nother set on this side. And then, yeah, they get sent to the little logistic distributors. From there, they head out to wherever they're needed. I call these the iron donuts, but they're magnets. They're made from the same stuff as the iron plates, or these ingots. Yeah, the iron ingots. But, you know, sometimes you need a donut, not a plate. Over here, these are the green cubes coming in from another planet. We'll get there. These are some water pumps. Not every planet has water, so, you know, I gotta pump it up, send it over here to one of these towers, and from there it gets blasted off to wherever it's needed. You know, my towers have a whole logistics network set up going on there that we can get into once we travel. This little train turning these inserters. The inserters are what you use to move items around from storages or assemblers. This is where I make those. So I got the tier 1s, 2s, 3s, and then 4s being made in a line. Got some glass stuff going on here. Some normal glass is getting turned into titanium glass. That's what it's called. And then next to that we got these particle accelerators, or colliders. And the colliders are turning hydrogen into deuterium. Do you know what deuterium is? It's pretty cool stuff. Look it up. Apparently it tastes sweet if you drink it. Over here we got some nanotubule construction, I guess. These are like chemical facilities that are turning graphene and titanium into some nanotubules. This is my old design. I actually have a better design now for this, but I kind of liked having it in a little carousel running around. What happens here is, you know, each chemical plant has got the graphene and the titanium connected. So each one has got plugged into each here. And then from there, they output onto the carousel. And the carousel just goes around until they get over here to this guy. And this one will pick it up and put it into the storage to get sent out. But right now the carousel is full because the storage is full. The storage, I set it to hold this many, but it filled up, so now the carousel is just spinning and spinning. This is a similar setup, but this one is producing graphene instead of those tubules. These are a component for the tubules. I had to make sulfuric acid and use graphite for that one. These right here, these are actually taking these charged batteries. That's what these purple things are. They're charged batteries that are getting discharged by these towers onto the local planet's power grid. Yeah, I have some power production that's happening on this planet, but most of the power is actually coming from these discharged batteries rather than burning fuel or anything like that here. It's a green planet. We only do geothermal or battery discharge here. You know, we care about the environment after all. A little autosave happened there. This is a little intermediate production. Oh, uh-oh. Got some enemies landing over there, but I'm sure it'll be a problem for later. This little tower here, it's just a little local site where we distribute some coal and some stone. Now this did get mined up on this planet, but we're running pretty low on those supplies, so I'm gonna have to start shipping it in soon. This up here, got a couple roads or belts with a bunch of crude oil being distributed. This was not always empty, but it's empty right now because I was producing plastic and organic crystals, but I've actually offloaded that production to other planets now. So all that's left is this little bit of sulfuric acid production. Just keep that around, for the memories, I guess. I don't really know. Got some more over here next to the copper ingot array. These towers with all the colorful lights, these are where we do our science research. So the tower on the right here is doing the research, and then the tower on the left is producing these white cubes. And the white cubes are a combination of the green, the red, the blue, the yellow cubes, as well as some antimatter. Is that what it's called? Yeah, as well as some antimatter. The antimatter, you know, that's coming in from this other planet. Maybe I'll show you that later. Over here we got a bunch of, you know, miscellaneous intermediaries being built. These are kind of like some stopgap production type things. I got larger scale production elsewhere. This is part of the old defense system. Got some missile launchers, but like I said, the dark fog hasn't bothered me on this planet for a while, so it's all kind of just collecting dust over here. Yeah, got a little relay tower and some turrets, but you know, maybe one day I'll get around to cleaning that up. Here we produce some logistics drones. Nothing too crazy.
Depleted.
Oh, looks like we're depleting something in this star system, but not this planet. This tower produces some blue cubes. Got some of the little copper donuts and the circuit boards going into there, and got 4 of those, and like the other one, the 4 output to the center where it gets pumped out. Right now the production's not moving because we're being bottlenecked by antimatter. Yeah, I need some more antimatter to make more white cubes. This is the same for reds. Reds are pretty simple. I just have to pipe in some hydrogen and some graphite and call it a day on those. This is my little charging station. I stand here when my battery's low. I am a robot hamster, by the way. Yeah, my battery's down here. Got 10.4 gigajoules of energy at the moment, so I shouldn't have any problems with that anytime soon. But let's go to the map here, see if I missed anything for this planet. Oh, we got some little designs here. I kind of like this one. We got some of these coils. What are these, electromagnets? I think they're electromagnets. They're being produced off of these 3 areas. These 3 little storages are sharing their contents with each other, and that way each one of these can pull off from any of the 3. And then we got 3 logistics stations. 2 are going in and 1 is going out. And yeah, it's just kind of working away every time we need some of these little magnets. Some silicone crystals. Silicon crystals? I can never remember. And yeah, we got our ships blasting off right now. Let's see, how about we go to the ice planet next? We got 3 planets in this little star system. Let me zoom out and show you. So I'm orbiting this gas giant right now on the organic planet. This is the star. We got some enemy hive right there. Then we got an ice planet, and we got the lava planet. I use the lava planet as my logistics hub right now. Let me drop an indicator so that you can see where I'm going. And let's head off to the ice planet.
Cruise mode.
Gotta make some distance from the planet here first. Gets really quiet in space. There it goes. Lost our structures to the render distance. Over there you can see another star system that I have a lot more production in, but you know, this is the first star system I started in, so it's got a decent amount here. All my science is here, all my research science. Let's start speeding up. You might have just seen a ship, a logistics vessel, warp out. Probably heading for the 2 system. It's really nice flying through space like this.
Mineral depleted.
Uh-oh. Can see a bunch of systems over there. In the night sky. I named a bunch of these. Obviously I named that one. We're almost there. All these stars that you see, well, not all of them, but almost all of them we can reach, like that little LBV, probably a red giant. Matar. I don't know how to say a lot of these. I feel like they're just generated randomly anyways. Those little lights out there, that's my ships transporting stuff between planets. We're almost there. Let me speed it up a bit more. Sometimes you gotta aim a little bit off the planet so that it doesn't outrun you by the time you get there. Oh, another autosave. Let me slow it down. We're almost there. This planet's pretty barren. I just got like one little production area. That's the old defense system. I land here. And on this planet we produce these, what are they called? Processors. Yeah, the processors, they take a little bit of everything. Some iron, some copper, some silicon. Right now I guess the production is halted because we're full. Oh, we're not full. I guess I get to do a little troubleshooting. Let's see why it's not working. We should have all of those being sent to this logistics station right here. It is requesting, it's powered, got drones. It's almost like there's no processors. Yeah, there's no processors. Looks like we're out of circuits. Well, fortunately I'm making the circuits right here. So what's up with the circuits? We're out of iron. And we're out of iron because we're out of iron ore. Wait a minute. We're out of copper too. Okay, well, all I gotta do to fix that is, that was the old copper, or iron mine right there. Just gotta find another node. Let me turn that on. Oh, got some right next door. It's gonna be real nice seeing this thing working once it's got some resources back in it. Just gotta kinda do this. Drop a little power for it. And then there's some copper. Oh, actually we're out of copper on this planet. Okay, well, it's alright, we can ship some in. We just head over to the logistics tower. I think I should just be as simple as demanding it. Yeah, look at that. We got copper coming in already. Got a ship blasting off right there to go pick some up for us. Yeah, that should be good. I could crank it up a bit more though. Maybe to 8,000. Oops, wrong button there. And so now once the copper arrives, we're gonna need somewhere for it to get sent out by the logistics bots. Gonna select that filter. And then put a little storage here. Put some little grabbers. Actually I wanna upgrade those, make them 2. You know what? Let's go tier 4. Close that off. I don't need this many here. Just like that. And put a little hat on it. Give the hat some drones. Provide out. Oh! Wait a minute. I don't need to do any of that. Because actually, I just need to set the local supply like it is. And look. These drones actually will come in here, pick up the copper, and move it over to the tower. The tower drops it off here, and look at that. Everything's really alive now. This is what it's supposed to look like when it's running. So these components are getting sent out to the middle strip. Then it gets pushed out along these belts from the center, out that way, out that way, out that way. And then it gets brought back in. It's going a little bit slower on this side. It's brought back in through here, dropped off into there. Then it gets picked up, sent down the line to the processors. And then it gets sent out there, out here, then back up the middle till we get to the output. And the output flies it over. Let's see if we can see it happen. There it is. Flies it over here into the tower. And from the tower, everything flies off. You might be wondering, when I requested this copper, where did it come from? And it looks like this was a bit overkill. I'm going to drop that down to like, yeah, 4K should be good. Where did this copper come from? Well, it came from the logistics hub. The hub is collecting resources from other places. Let's head there next. Right here. Put a little indicator on it.
Flight mode. Cruise mode.
This one's, I think it's a little bit closer than the last flight we did. This time we're gonna fly towards the star and pass by that hive. Hopefully it doesn't wake up when I pass by. Let me speed up. Oh, there goes a little vessel towards the hub. Got some copper ore heading. Oh, there it goes. Whoa. That's the copper we were requesting. It's just going to keep going now till the processors fill up. There's the hive. All these little tags or stuff coming off the hub. This is a pretty active hub. Let me speed it up a little bit more.
Mineral depleted.
Where's that? Oh, on the organic planet. We left that one already. There's the hive. It's rebuilding from a little bit of pruning that I did. Those are the enemies, but they're not so bad anymore. Let me slow it down. We're getting close. Turn off those indicators once I land.
Cruise and
Okay. Let me turn off these resources. There we go. So this right here, this is kind of like the ruins left of my old charging station. See, the thing is, on these lava planets, you can collect a lot of geothermal energy. And before I had, these drones are resupplying me, by the way, but before I had a lot of power in other places, this was my planet with the most power. So I would charge batteries here and ship them off, but these days, there's no point to do that. I have better places to charge batteries. Here we got, what are these called? Turbines? Electromagnetic turbines. These are being produced off of the copper and iron from this planet. But this is an old design. You can see it's pretty slow. I got a better one. We'll get there soon. It's on this planet. These are a bunch of geothermal power stations tapping into that lava. Some copper mining. Another charging station. Still full battery though, don't need that. Little titanium array. You've seen a few of these by now. You know, titanium ore comes in from this side, titanium ingots come out from that side. Got some iron mining. Silicon array. This is the old missile production, but we don't have many enemies on this place either. And look at that, you can see that hive up in the sky. We're taking a walk over to the logistics area. See, this is why it's called the hub for this star system. We got a couple inputs and outputs, and yeah, it's connecting everything. I could go into depth on that, but I'll give you some more context first. Here we got the turbine production. So these turbines have their own iron, copper, and donut arrays. See, they're flying over like zipping, zipping, zipping over here. This is where it's producing. This is a lot like what we saw earlier with the processors, where this center area is where everything's coming in and out, and then it travels along, and comes back through the center, and then gets sent up the chain. Yeah, these are the turbines that we use back on the home planet. And then, yeah, this planet's got a whole lot of resource collection. We're using a lot of this iron and copper back on the home planet because that one's running low now on resources. And we got a shield system. Check it out. It's a little bit goofy looking, but what can you do when you optimize for coverage instead of thickness, right? The shield system is for preventing the enemies from landing on the planet, because when they land, they leave a big hole and destroy some of the stuff that you built. It's a pain. Which reminds me, soon enough, that new one that landed probably will start being a threat. I'll have to take a trip over there. You know, we could go there next before it's a problem, but it's a little bit out in the boonies. How about we visit 2 next? Seems like a logical path forward. You know what? I'm not going to set the indicator for the star. Oh, let me zoom out here. Set the indicator for one of these planets. We should probably go to... I feel like we could get away with 2 lava first. 2 lava looks a lot like this planet, but the difference is that you're going to see the sun is actually blue in that system. It's got a lot more energy, that star. And because of that, I'm actually harvesting that sun's power. Don't worry, this one's 5 light years away. That's pretty far, but we got the warp drive this time.
Warp engine activated.
Looks like our ETA is about 15 seconds. Might be a little bit longer. We're not going to go full warp speed once we're close, but closing in here. A little bit hard to read these. Let me rotate around. There it is. We're going to get real close and then turn off the warp drive.
deactivated.
There we go. And let's see where my structures are. Right now you're just seeing a bunch of power infrastructure and the shield system. Here we go.
Cruise ended.
Welcome to 2 Lava. Here's a little bigger power charging station. Charged up pretty fast there. This is another design I have for donut production. Sometimes you need a little bit different design to match the need at the time, but I would probably just make it an array like this now if I was to rebuild here. Got more work going on here. The main production here on 2 Lava is this big thing right here. Where's that mineral depleted? 1 hub. That's okay. So on this one, we are producing a bunch of components for these green cubes. The green cubes, this is that line design again, where, you know, the center is the in and the out, and then we got these for crafting stuff, the wings for crafting. This is where we're making the blue cube, or sorry, the green cubes. The green cubes are made of these quantum processors and these gravity lenses. This one's got a few star systems working together because these gravity lenses are being made in the 3 star system, and then we shipped the greens back to 1, and it's all being produced here on 2. Pretty cool. Got this tower sending them out, bringing things in. Over here, takes a lot of titanium glass to make those processors, or the plane filters for the processors. So here we got a bunch of glass, a bunch of titanium, and it gets combined up here into titanium glass. And that titanium glass is sent over to the big stack you were seeing. This over here, call this the iron tower. You know, I started out with these like hex leaf designs, but then I realized it was just more efficient to go with the array. I haven't replaced these with an array yet because it's not necessary, but yeah, these little 6-petaled leaves or flowers. I mean, this array's got 36, and you could probably fit only 4 of these in the space of 1 array, so I'll probably switch to the arrays. This is a more recent build of mine. Here, we're making, at the end of the day, these Dyson Sphere rockets. What are they called? Small carrier rockets. So these rockets, they deliver a payload up to the star, and that's for collecting the star's power. I'll show you. But yeah, we got some graphene being produced, and then circuits, and then these components for the solar panels, photon combiners. And we got solar panels being made here. The solar panels then bump up here to, what are these called? The frame materials. And then the frame materials get passed up to these Dyson Sphere components. And then the Dyson Sphere components get loaded up onto these rockets as the payload. They got a little bit of fuel with some fuel rods, and then some chips for the guidance. They're self-guiding. And then this is where we're making the prisms for the solar panels out of glass. And then we needed the graphite here for the graphene down there. Let's see what else we got. This is an old like radially symmetrical design for the processors. Back on the ice planet, we were making the processors with this line design. I guess, yeah, line design. But this one, I was repeating these. Let me see if I can mark it. I was repeating these shapes right here, like this. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 pedals that are making the processors. And then I take this and I just, boop, copy paste it there and there. Put in what, 8 of these or so? 5, 6, 7, 8 of those, yeah. But as you can see, there's a bunch of empty space here. And not only that, they use a lot of these storage containers, which is not super optimal, which is why I changed over to the line design. It's more compact and a little bit easier on the logistics. And then a little bit of rotor production here. Uses those electromagnets, some gears. It's nothing too special, so I'll kind of pass over that. And then this is a little area for restocking my building supplies. Making some inserters, some conveyors, some assemblers. Making some logistics stations over here. This was the initial pedal that I made for that processor design I was just showing you. You see, I just take that and I repeat it. See that? It builds it out. And now that's working. This is an older design for these photon combiners as well. And we're back to this donut thing. And that's my lava planet. A lot of these planets, they're like half barren because I'm not trying to really fill any particular one up. It's more so that I use them for what's useful nearby, and then I ship it out to somewhere else. So I'm sure this will keep growing. As I'll probably build another one of these when I want to speed up the carrier rocket production. And then to do that, I'm gonna have to increase the quantum chips, which will mean I'll have to increase the titanium glass, and that's how everything keeps growing. Let's see where we're gonna go next. Some of these planets are kind of empty. We got rockets zipping between everywhere, but like this planet, for example, it's just got a little mining area for these grading crystals, and then it ships it back up. This maroon frost planet. This one, you know what? Let's go there next. This maroon frost planet is where I built the.
Flight mode.
I had the
Cruise mode.
solar sail ejectors initially for this Dyson Sphere. You see, that's the star up there. That's the star for this system.
Mineral depleted.
And it's got like those discs floating around it because I built them. I built those discs to collect the energy. It's ugly. It's pretty patchwork because it was the first one I made here. And I was going for, smaller sections that I could finish building, and then yeah, it's kind of ugly. The orange, ignore the orange. I need to revamp how that one looks. This one we might actually warp because it's kind of far. But before that, check it out. There's another little hive building over there. I'll probably let them grow.
Warp engine activated.
Let's warp over here to Maroon Frost. to Maroon
Warp
Frost.
engine deactivated.
And we're here. Looks like we landed by this titanium and copper mining area. Gets sent to this tower, shipped out. Oh, there it goes. Here we have some graphene being produced, but yeah, it's all at a standstill because a lot of this planet is not really using the production at the moment, because kind of like my home planet, a lot of this stuff has been outsourced elsewhere and is being produced in larger quantities elsewhere. But yeah, right here we got a small little antimatter collection area. We use these receivers to collect some photons, then the photons get split over here into antimatter and hydrogen. And the hydrogen I send to go burn, because we don't need that here. We got plenty of hydrogen here. And the antimatter gets sent to this tower where, yep, it's shipped out. It's shipped over to the home planet where we make white science cubes with it. Here we're making these Casimir crystals. The crystals, in a roundabout way, get used for making those carrier rockets back on the Two Lava planet. Here we have an alternate way of making graphene, where we're kind of reacting this fire ice, and it turns into graphene and some hydrogen. Hydrogen we got a lot of it. You know, there was a time in this planet's life cycle where we were really struggling for hydrogen, but these days, got more of it than we can really do much with. This might look familiar. These are I think they're called frame materials. Yeah, frame materials that we use to make those carrier rockets. What are these called? Supermagnetic rings. These are like the upgraded version of these turbines. We use those for making all sorts of advanced things. Here you can see some of those 4-pedaled processor manufacturers that I designed. These two towers are bringing in resources from the gas giant that's in the star system. Let me show you. Where is it? Oh, it's actually over here. This is the gas giant. We'll head over there next. Go ahead and drop that indicator while we're here. But yeah, that ice giant has got some orbital collectors, and this blue section is what's getting restocked from that gas giant. Let's head over there. I'll show you those collectors. We're gonna warp again because these distances are kind of far in this star system. So here we got to travel 6 AUs to get to that gas giant, but back in the one system we only had to travel like 1.8 or so.
Warp engine activated.
We're gonna turn off the warp right by the planet again. Don't panic. Oh,
Warp engine deactivated.
those are those orbital collectors. Not gonna get too close to the surface. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of afraid of these gas giants, but yeah, we got lots of collectors. Check that out. Well, we still got space for a few more, but yeah, got plenty of hydrogen and fire ice right now. And then this here is gonna be the hub planet for the 2 system. This is probably, oh, we're getting pulled into that gas giant. Let me accelerate. This is probably the largest, or not largest, but the most active hub that I've got right now. That's for a couple reasons. It's because this is like a middleman between the 1 system, the 3 system, and the 5, 7, and 8 system. But then we've also got a bunch of local resources getting shipped over to other planets. So yeah, you can see it's pretty busy here. Got a little bit of silicon ingots, purified silicon, getting shipped out. Got all sorts of things. Look, if I open up this menu here, I can close these. Whoops. Just to make it a bit easier to read. These are all the hubs in my game save right now. Or not the hubs, but the logistics stations. And then, see, this is all the ones on 2 hub here. So some of them are supplying, that's the S, out to the other places, and some of them are demanding. You know, you might be confused by these duplicates, for example, here, here, and here. And that's because I've got like a local network, and then I've got like an interplanetary or inter-system network. There's like 2 parallel networks here.
Mineral depleted.
Yeah, but we don't have to sweat those details. Let's see. Next, we can go check out 3. This is where... Oh, wait, let me... So 3's only got 1 planet. It's got this planet, this gas giant. And then it's got a little guy orbiting the gas giant. We're gonna go check that place out next.
Flight mode.
3 is where
Cruise mode.
I do most of my plastic production. These days I could move that out to the 6 system, because 6 has got a lot of crude oil. But, you know, 3, it's up and running. You know, why tear down something that works? So, if I ever need to expand the plastic production, I'll probably do that over in 6, but might as well keep 3 going. It's been a while since I visited this place. We might end up finding something installed kind of like that processor system back in 1 ice. My naming conventions are pretty simple. It's just, you know, the number of the system and then
Warp engine deactivated.
the type of planet we got. So this is 3 Crimsonus. You know, all these planets actually, they've got descriptions for what it means. So this one's a Crimsonus satellite. And then we got all this here. You can pause and read that if you're interested, but it's a pretty detailed game. See, here on 3, we need a lot of iron. We need a lot of iron. And here you can see that we ran out of iron a long time ago. But it's okay. I just ship it in. I ship it in from, I think 2 is where this is coming from. And that's why 2 hub is pretty busy. I mean, right now we're at a standstill. And, oh, that's right. That's because here we don't only produce plastic, we also produce our gravity lenses here. These are some oil refining areas. It's looking suspiciously quiet. Looks like it's because we're out of coal. We still have plenty of coal, 10 million on this planet, but I guess my miner just stopped working. Oh, there it is. What do you know? We got something to fix. It's thanks to this tour that I even realized I wouldn't have come by here for a while. Oh, this is our old nanotube production. I'll go ahead and clean this up right now. If we end up going by 6, you'll see a more advanced version of this, so this one I can just clean up for now. Got a little left over, okay. Pick this up, and this. And this is for burning
Mineral
excess,
depleted.
what's that? 2 sulfuria. This is for burning the excess hydrogen that comes from refining some of this oil. Oh, let me turn on the veins, that's why I can't see. Let's see where this coal is. Okay, got a lot up here. Yeah, that'll work.
Flight mode.
I'll get back to explaining this as soon as we got it working with some coal. Oops. A little bit of an input error, my bad. Okay, perfect. We can cover all of the veins. And then bring it some power. There we go. So that's collecting, and then we'll see a drone fly by here any second. And there we go. We can follow them back.
Flight mode.
This coal is going to a advanced petroleum. Oh, scrap that. It's actually going to turn into graphene right here, but graphite. Where was that? Oh, here we go. This is where the coal is coming in right here and turning into that advanced refining process. Here we turn crude oil into refined oil and hydrogen, and then right next door we pump some of that refined oil and hydrogen, and we add it with some coal. And what that does is it takes a little bit more refined oil out of that coal. And it also eats up the hydrogen, which is nice because we don't always need so much excess hydrogen. And then that refined oil gets sent through the storage tank out here to the logistics. And drones fly it out. We use that to make this sulfuric acid. The sulfuric acid is used to make graphene. And the graphene is used over here to make this unstable, strange matter. It does that with these particle containers, it looks like. Particle containers take some other stuff, which is being produced down here. Boom. It goes into here. And then this one's a 2-petal design. So this is what I was just showing you right now. And then we take that, we copy paste it over here. And you got this. And we got another one of those right there. Rotate it. Got another one right here. Move it over there. Got another one. And here. And here. Got a whole lot of these. Excuse me. Yeah, we got a whole lot of these making gravity, or, what were these called? Strange matter. And that strange matter gets sent. Let's see where it is. Strange matter is getting sent to make gravity lenses. Where is that? Oh, right down the street over here. Strange matter comes in here. We combine that this way with some diamonds. And then we get gravity lenses. Graviton lenses. And then those get sent to a tower and shipped back to the organic home planet. We also have some organic crystals being mined here. Oh, and let me show you the plastic. Right, I started off talking about that plastic and I haven't shown you. We got all the plastic being produced on this side of the planet. See here we got Oh, everything is running suspiciously slow again. Looks like we got something to figure out. Oh, it's the coal problem. Yeah, look at that. This used to be where our coal was coming from. Okay, well. Let's go ahead and replace that old miner with a little logistics tower. And clean this up a little bit here. We can upgrade these to tier 2. Oh, gotta program it. Coal, please. And then drop that down. Nothing is collecting right now because we don't have any drones in the system. So let me take, I guess 10, yeah, 10 or so. Drop them in. Now it's not working because we don't have enough power, but it says it cannot charge, but it's got a little bit of charge in there. I wonder what's going on with that. But yeah, let's connect it up to the power. And then we got him shipping off. Just gonna go pick up some coal, drop it off. In the meantime, let me finish this up so that it can send it out. Boom, boom, boom. So that'll be for the graphite. Then we need one over here. A little bit finicky sometimes. One over here for the refinement. And we got our first shipment. See, boom, now it comes out. Got another drone dropping off more. And we can follow this coal. This coal is going to do that same little 1-2 hop that we saw earlier. First it's going to refine into the hydrogen, the refined oil. Then it'll take some more refined oil out of that coal using the hydrogen. And then we got a little 4-petal. And then it goes over here. These are the chemical facilities actually making the plastic. Plastic is made with some refined oil and some graphite. That's why we needed this graphite over here. Makes that plastic, sends it out over here. See, it's not lasting there very long because it's getting moved over here, then moved over here, and from there, looks like we got somebody picking it up. Let's follow him, see where he goes. Follow that plastic. Follow that plastic. There it is. And then the plastic ends up here. Once we hit about 1,000, it gets picked up and shipped off to another system. Speaking of another system, looks like we got this that's about to fire, so let's go to the 8 system next. And there, we're gonna see, what am I doing there? I think I got a bunch of crystals being mined on 8 organic. But it's gonna take us a little bit to get there, but you see this this bar is filling up because there's a little enemy base that's landed. We saw that land at the beginning of the video, if you remember. Excuse moving the mic there. Yeah, that base landed and collected some resources. It grew up and now it's about to attack. So once that bar hits 100%, it's going to attack. It looks like we will make it before then. 2 more light years. Yeah, we'll definitely make it before it attacks. When it attacks, it's not going to be, it's going to be very underwhelming, okay? Don't get too excited, because it's a very small outpost, and it's also going to get just freaking torched right now.
Warp engine deactivated.
Oh, looks like it's on the other side of the planet. Oh shoot, that attack might trigger. 0.5% left until we get there. Oh. Nope, I made it. Let's land and close your eyes. It's brutal.
Starcraft Spaceport destroyed.
There you go. So, they leave behind this big wound in the planet. What I do is I cover that up with a nice geothermal power plant. And, we don't let anything go to waste. The enemy insists on boring holes in my planet. At least I'll get some energy out of it. But yeah, here we are on 8 Organic. That's the name of this. We're in the 8 star system now. Guess we skipped 4, 5, 6, and 7. But, duty called. This place is interesting. It's called a Pandora Swamp. So we got these like pink trees, all this blue grass. When we get closer, you see the atmosphere is actually like a purplish during sunset. We got these like hydrangea looking flowers. Pretty beautiful. I really like this Pandora Swamp planet. Let's walk over to where we got the real business going down.
Mineral depleted.
See these towers are just a bunch of power infrastructure connecting these plants on these hexagons. Everywhere you see one of these plants, it's because I cleared out one of the enemy bases. So it's nice, We don't let anything go to waste. I could even burn like all the excess hydrogen for energy and stuff. But what I've been doing now is turning the excess into deuterium. And then that deuterium, I turn it into fuel rods. And the fuel rods get turned into carrier rockets. Am I going the right way? Did I get lost? Where are we going? We are going...
Mineral depleted.
Oh, you know what? It's not that I got lost, it's that this tower here is... Whoops, that was a bit quick.
Flight mode.
So this tower is the only
Cruise mode.
major structure I have on this planet. You see, the reason why
Cruise ended.
I even settled this planet
Mineral
is because
depleted.
it has got so much coal on it. 29 million. And so I got these miners collecting the coal and sending it back to the tower. So yeah, this planet is pretty calm. I think we have a hub here in 8. Do we? Yeah, we do have a hub. We can go ahead and fly over there. It's gonna be a real quiet hub though. This is definitely the boonies.
Cruise mode.
This is one of the... Actually, I think it's the latest star system that I traveled to. We don't have a 9 yet. We will eventually. I'll show you the map while we fly over there. Check it out. So, this is 8, where we are now. We came from 1, we went to 2, to 3, and then we came over here to 8, which is actually the closest to these other systems compared to 6, 7, and 5, but it's because they were named in order of the sequence that I went there and, built some structures not in there, not named by the proximity. Let's slow it down.
Cruise ended.
Here we are, 8 hub. Here, this one I kind of standardized the layout. It's pretty quiet here. We just got this like shield generator on the North Pole. It's actually kind of pretty if you take a look in there. Like I said, they got nice details in this game. Interstellar. Here we are picking up batteries, even though I'm not even using the batteries to discharge them. I'm actually not even using that right now. But you see here we got coal coming in. Oops. We got coal coming in. And then it zips over here. Maybe the other way around. I didn't look too close, but...
Mineral depleted.
Oh, actually, definitely the coal comes into here. Gets passed over to this guy. And then from here it goes out to other star systems. Because we're running a little bit low on coal in the greater system. And look at that hive. That hive is big compared to the other ones we've seen. That is definitely a big one. See, the other ones I've pruned them before, but this guy has been growing unchecked. You know, it's a bit of a process to take those out. I definitely have the firepower on me, but you know, not everything is worth the battle. Let's see where we go next. We can go to 6. 6 is fun. 6 is a system that does not have a hub set up yet. It's probably almost to the point where I should really get one going. But up until now, I have not needed a hub. Let me restock these warpers.
Flight mode. Cruise mode.
I would really put in a hub if I started like sending batteries over there, or if we got just a couple more exports. But what I really like about 6 is that it has a Aquatica planet. So right now we're heading to 6 Aquatica. And those planets are fun because they're like mostly water. You'll see a few islands, but most of the land that you see was actually filled in by me to build some facilities.
Warp engine deactivated.
Here we are. This is the main little facility. Over here I'm taking these stalagmite crystals and turning them into some nanotubules. You know, we got the classic standstill, and that's because we are full. It's a good problem to have. It's not even really a problem, I guess. Got a whole nother setup for the same thing right there. Got some water being pumped in. This water is getting shipped to, I think to 7? No, maybe to 5. I think it's getting shipped over to 5. And then we're probably using it to make titanium glass or something. I guess we'll see in a moment.
Flight mode.
Then we got these little islands that I built for my power distribution. You know, this looks a lot like one of those Dubai islands, right? We got a few of those on this planet. But this was actually, the sand here was built by the Dark Fog. Those guys, they had a base here, as you can see. Put my little geothermal plant on top of it. But they used to have quite a bit of development out there in these arms, and they would fill in the terrain as they went. Here's another one of those Dubai planets, another one. Yeah, it's pretty peaceful here now, ever since, you know, I took these guys out. And let's see if we can find a natural island somewhere. Oh, here's one over here. These are natural. These are natural. Nice little spot, you know, sunrise on an aquatic planet. Probably terrifying for anybody who hates the ocean, but anybody else, you know, probably seems great. Let's see, next up will be, looks like we got 7 on the path. Rookie mistake, I'm not going to indicate the star. We only got one planet that's really doing much on 7. It's over here. Orbiting a gas giant again. Got a lot of gas giants. Who knew space had so much gas?
Flight mode. Cruise mode.
You know, to activate the warp drive.
Mineral depleted.
Oh wow, you see that big dark spot in the sky? It's not missing stars, that's a freaking gas giant blocking out the light. Look at that. For a moment I really thought that there was just a patch of the sky with no stars, but rewind and check that out. I almost flew straight into that. Man, Gas giants are beautiful, but terrifying. Anyways, to activate the warp drive, we do have to go over 1,000 meters from the surface of any planet, but we've reached that, so let's
Warp
go.
engine activated.
Say goodbye to that big hive. Passing by the 5,
Mineral depleted.
7. 7 Gritea.
Warp
This planet's,
engine activated.
you know, it's, depending on who you ask, I could see people saying it's either beautiful or ugly. It's got this like blueness and then these like kind of copperish colored deposits. This planet is interesting. If you dig into these deposits, not that one, like here for example, these deposits, they actually give you iron, I think. Yeah, they actually give you iron, not copper, so I don't know if that's like a rusted iron, I suppose. Kind of rusty. But the main export here is these grading crystals. These grading crystals get used to make quantum chips, and quantum chips are used to make green cubes and carrier rockets. So we got those coming in. We don't have a whole lot of power on this planet, so this is a place where we're shipping in batteries and discharging them, just like on the home planet. Next up, you're going to see the place where we charge these, actually. We take the batteries, discharge them here, they get sent to that tower, and then sent over to the logistics hub. This hub, we got stuff out because it's the default, but as you can see, this tower and this tower are not powered. It's because we don't need those right now, or you could say they're under construction, I guess. And over here, excuse me, we should be done here soon. My throat can get some rest, but let me think. Let me take a drink of water real quick while I refocus. Okay. Where was I? Yeah, so those grading crystals, I used to turn them into these Casimir crystals back on to lava. But the thing is, each Casimir crystal, as you can see down there, requires 8 grading crystals, 2 graphene, and 12 hydrogen. And that's a lot. That's a lot to 1. So that's what? 22 items turn into 1. So if I was to ship 22 items, or let's say 22,000 items back to 2 lava, it would only produce 1,000 crystals. And what I realized is that if I just produce the crystals here, instead of transporting over there 22,000 things, I could just transport 1,000 crystals, and that saved me a lot of power, because it takes a lot of energy to ship things. How many light years away? Let's see. The 2 hub, 17.3 light years. We're pretty far now from the home base. But yeah, that's really all there is to see here on, where are we again? 7 Gritea. Let's go to the final stop, 5. 5 is probably the most impressive place to look at. It's because we got this big Dyson Sphere being built. Let's go ahead and, let's start at the hub. The hub for 5 it's just a hub like any other, but we can go check it out before we go to the main attraction, which is, let me get into warp drive here real quick.
Warp engine activated.
The main attraction for 5 is actually the planet that I named 5 Locked. 5 Locked is tidally locked to the star, which means that there is no day and night cycle. The same face of that planet is always facing the star. And when you're collecting energy from that star, that's a pretty nice thing. It's also nice for, oh, and don't worry, those plates separate when I come nearby.
Cruise ended.
It's very nice that the face is always looking at the star to collect the energy from it. So yeah, this is the hub. This hub, it does have a day-night cycle, but like you can see, we are actually inside the Dyson Sphere all around us. It's pretty freaking huge, isn't it? Those little blue dots you see, let me zoom out. The little blue dots you see are actually
Mineral depleted.
little sails that are attaching. You see this one has got a little notch out of it. It's on its way to becoming an edge like this, but it's got to fill in with these little blue dots first. And it takes quite a few of those. You see this one's filling in right here. That one's filling in. This one's starting to fill in now. Right here. And yeah, this is producing a lot of power for us.
Mineral depleted.
And it's absolutely massive. But other than that, yeah, this hub here is just another hub. You know, a bunch of these towers next to each other.
Flight mode.
Let's go over to Locked.
Cruise mode.
5 Locked. Get a little better view going out towards the sun. Where are we going? 5 Locked, where are you? And was it behind us? No. Am I blind? Might be behind the sun. Let me take a look on the map. Oh, it was behind the sun. What do you know? Alright, let's speed up a little bit this direction. Don't want to get too close to that big freaking ball of fire. And now we can see that indicator. Swing by. Let me do some accelerating before this thing sucks us in closer. 8,000 meters. The scale is a little bit strange in this game, but when you look at it as a whole, it makes more sense. What do we have? Oh shoot, I lost it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you'll see as we get closer to these panels, they actually shrink, make space for you to squeeze through. Can barely see the image of that planet. See the lights coming off of it? Those are actually the carrier rockets that I was building. And those carrier rockets, oh, and there we go. And those carrier rockets are what's constructing this big sphere. And then these like lasers coming off are these sails that fill up the panels. Looks like we landed by the antimatter system here, so these ray receivers, just like the ones we saw back on 2 Maroon Frost, these emitters are, ray receivers are collecting photons. Those get turned into the antimatter, some fuel rods. Like I said, we're turning that excess hydrogen into fuel rods and antimatter. The antimatter gets shipped back to One Organic, the homeworld. And this right here, this is just a big stack for making these super magnet rings, and the rings are used for making those fuel rods. So all this is just for some fuel rods. And this is the main attraction right here. Look at this big array of energy exchangers. So all this like lit up purple strip, those are actually full batteries. And right now we got a lot of empty batteries that it'd be nice if we could charge them up, but we just got so many full batteries in the way. Look at this, for the sake of demonstration. Let me see if I can make some space here. Yeah, here we'll just ship off interdimensional in 0. Yeah, here's what we'll do. This is a little bit silly, but just to show you, I'm gonna send some of these batteries out. We don't need this many there, but I'll take it back down to the correct amount. And so soon enough, we're gonna see the rocket over there arrive. It'll pick up these batteries, unblock the system, and we can take a look at that again. But yeah, we're making some empty batteries here. So all this is just to make some empty battery components. These are the silos where we launch the carrier rockets. You can see those zipping off, and there they go. See, they fly off the planet. Well, that's a logistics vessel, but see, these fly off the planet and then head over to wherever they're needed on the sphere. This planet actually has sulfuric acid in these pools, and so I am collecting that. Collecting some right here actually. And you'll see a little bit better here as soon as we get onto the light side. Like I said, this planet does not have a day-night cycle, so the stuff that's in the dark is always in the dark. And oh, look at that, it looks like the energy system is clearing up and the lights turn on each time. And so these are charging it up. These are charging up the empty batteries. We'll just keep seeing this move on over. See, it has to let go of all the empty ones to make space for the next guy to let go of his empty batteries, or full batteries. And they gotta dump out all the full ones. Then it continues down the line, lets out his full batteries, charges some more. Down the line. Next one lights up. And yeah, each of these guys is... Let me fly over there.
Flight mode. Cruise mode.
Oopsie. Overshot it a little bit, but yeah, each of these is filling up batteries. You see that? Until, you know, eventually we got them all lit up and we all just take the energy that we're collecting from this star, fill up batteries with it, and ship those batteries out to the rest of the stars where it's needed. We can go ahead and watch it finish. We only got 3 left. See how it's got to let go of the ones onto the empty slots. And then once it does that, the next guy can do the same. And then one more. There we go. And so we got plenty of empty batteries. So this will just keep charging them up until it fills up on full ones again. Look at all that. So many. They're all just charging. And so if we actually go to the power network, I can show you. See this? It's a little bit hard to read when you've seen it for the first time, but basically this orange part is how much we're using for actual like charging of ships and producing things, and then this purple part is all that we're using to charge those batteries. So yeah, this planet's main attraction is definitely this big charging grid. Uses a lot of power, over 2 gigajoules of power. I mean, we got a lot more left. So right now, if we look at the Dyson Sphere's stats, We got 16.6 gigawatts, or I said gigajoules, gigawatts of power. But we're only using, what is that, about a third of this? That's what the orange section is. We're only using 5.9 gigawatts. And that 5.9 includes our photon collection. And yeah, we're generating 16.6 gigawatts. It's going to keep going up a bit more. We'll probably hit at least 17 as it finishes these last little panels.
Upgrade complete.
And then of course I could add more. Looks like we just finished one of our research upgrades. So now when I warp, it's going to be going faster. Let's see how much it increased by. Moves this one right here by 3. It's a little bit hard to read this because they write the warp speed. Oh, that's interstellar logistics. Let's go mecha. Where is it? Automation? I don't know. Not too sure what my speed is. Maybe it is in mecha. Oh yeah, here it is. Max warp speed. Yeah, you see they write the warp speed in light years per second. 0.35 light years per second. Even though the upgrade screen tells you plus 3 astronomical units per second. Which I'm not too sure how the scale really translates between those.
Mineral depleted.
Because 1 AU in this game is definitely not the same as in real life. So it's a bit hard to read, but I'm pretty sure it's about a, like, I don't know, 15% or so increase in speed. Let me show you these cannons that are shooting all those blue lights that we saw earlier. These cannons, they're shooting solar sails up into the Dyson Sphere. And those solar sails are being produced here. So this time, we've got like this area and this area. And let me clear that out. And those are being fed down here by this stuff. And then we take this, and like you saw before, we copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Oops. And we got a whole bunch of those. So I tried counting it out because there's a speed. Look at this. So this tells me that I can attach 360 solar sails per minute to the Dyson Sphere. And if we do the math, each one of these cannons shoots 20 per minute, right? 20 solar sails per minute. So you would think the math works out to whatever that is. I think it's like 12. I don't remember right now. But you would think it's as simple as you can only have 12 of these cannons, but I definitely have more than 12. And the strange thing is, when we look at the Dyson Sphere, there's no excess solar sails. They're all being absorbed. So I'm not too sure how the game is calculating that. I could probably have even more of these ejectors going. Sometimes they hit their limit, their pitch limit. That's why they turn orange like this, because they can't shoot. And that's why I have a few different targets that they can aim for in case that happens. Sometimes they gotta come in and do a little maintenance, you know. Unjam the ones that are stuck. Give them a different target. But then, other than that, we got this big ring of these collectors, all taking in energy from that Dyson Sphere. I mean, ideally, I would like to fill in, you know, this whole day face. Since it never goes dark, I'd like to fill in, collect all this light. We're getting there. So I got like a counter strip going that way. Got this strip up here under construction. That'll come over here. I'll probably fill in, these scars. Once I'm ready to, I'll move these ejectors either to the hub planet, or maybe I could position them right on the edge of the night area and still get them to shoot. But yeah, I think that's about it.
Flight mode.
Let me
Cruise mode.
fly off to back to 1, just so we can end off there. But that's about everything there is to see right now in this game save. I am going to keep working on this game save. I don't know how much further I'll take it, but I'm not done quite yet. Let's see, where is 1? For our last challenge, I will find 1 without a pinned indicator. We're on the edge of the star system, star cluster, so it was kind of silly of me to turn the other way because every star is in this direction. It's kind of hard to see with this Dyson Sphere in the way. Maybe I'll start accelerating that way. Let's see, is that a better view yet? Yeah, it's getting better. 6, 8. It should be away from those. This way. There's 5. 5 hub. 3. Oh, here we go. 1. Perfect.
Warp engine activated.
1 is my favorite number. So I don't think I'll be renaming that home planet anytime soon. I just realized my volume might have been changing a little bit. Yeah, if you watch this, let me know what you think I could do differently, better. I might not necessarily do it, but, if you got a good enough point, I probably will. We're almost there. 5 more light years. Yeah, my cruise speed used to be 0.25, now it's 0.35. That's a pretty significant upgrade. I like that. 2.1 now. Now we're gonna look for 1 organic. Where are you? There it is, 1 organic. We're closing in, don't want to hit the gas giant. And boom.
Warp engine deactivated.
Did you see it? Before I stopped the warp? Maybe not. Home sweet home.
Cruise ended.
Stop by the charge station. There it is. See my charge go up down here. Yeah, I'll probably make at least 1 more of these. Show you my Factorio world. Yeah, I'm excited to see if there's more to show, Keep working on it. Bye-bye.